SCP Containment Breach was a masterpiece of a horror game. A horror game so good that many of the other SCP games released since have been immensely influenced by it. One of the ways they tend to do this is by implementing a form of the game's procedural map generation. SCP game devs believe that for the same reasons this feature added value to Containment Breach, it would also add value to their own games. However, this is not universal. Many in the SCP community feel that other SCP games tend to borrow too much from Containment Breach, to the point where they sometimes feel like clones. So, there are some SCP games that have instead taken the more traditional approach of hand-making controlled maps. Which system of level design adds the most value to SCP? Procedural map generation is a sequence where the game creates and loads a random world to play on. This is usually represented in the form of letters and numbers, referred to as a seed. More popular games like Minecraft and Rust have very robust and advanced forms of procedural map generation. SCP games tend to have a more simplified version. They'll take a number of pre-made rooms and hallways and randomly place them down in a way that connects their entrances and exits to each other. There are many benefits to a system like this. For one, if you're making a horror game, like an SCP game, not knowing a clear direction of where to go adds an extra layer of uncertainty, which helps to make it more scary. The other and much more important benefit is the amount of replay value it creates. When I play SCP-5K, a game that uses controlled map design, one of the biggest gripes I have playing right now is how stale it feels. The predictability of playing the same map over and over again eventually bores you out, even if you initially have a fun experience. Procedural map generation is what makes other co-op games like Lethal Company replayable. The lack of that replayability in 5K is one of the reasons I have much more playtime in SCP Secret Laboratory. Every random map creates a completely different experience, giving the player something fresh to play every time. As awesome as the benefits to procedural map generation are, it also comes with some cons. Cons primarily related to fairness. The first one is that you can't master a random map. When I play Halo MCC matchmaking, I play on the same maps over and over again. Because of that, I learn how they work. I know where all the best weapons spawn. I know the best shooting peaks and hiding places. In SCP-5K, I was able to learn that triggering the Collect Evidence event on this computer is what sends all the fledglings after me. Because of that, I am able to make a careful decision on when I'm ready to trigger this event. The randomly generated worlds in SL don't have those same opportunities to learn and master them, which takes a lot out of the player's control and leaves it purely up to chance, which leads to their second con, luck. Don't you hate when you play Lethal Company and fire exit spawns right next to main? Have you ever seen a Minecraft speedrun get ruined for no other reason than a bad seed? Random decisions made by SL's map generator, such as how far 914 is to a heavy checkpoint, where and how many Tesla gates are spawned, and how far the exit gates spawn from the entrance checkpoints, can make or break a match. It is not fun at all when your fate is decided by luck. When you take an approach of controlled level design, you can systematically balance the playthrough how you see fit. No luck, only skill. If there turns out to be issues with your level design, you can go back and address those issues manually, like what I do with my Halo Forge maps. So, which is better for SCP, or game design in general? I don't think there's a definitive answer. Each system has their pros and cons to them, and I think it really depends on what your goals are. Are you making something small, like secret files, that can be beaten in just a few hours? Well, then it's probably not worth the effort. Do you want to make something like SL that can be played for hundreds of hours? Random map generation is one way to achieve that. If you're making something like 5K, where maybe you want replay value, but you still want to make controlled maps, how are you adding that replay value in other ways? That's a question you should probably have a good answer for. Let me show you the decisions I made for my own SCP game being developed in the Godot engine. Bad news, there has been a change of plans. This project was essentially going to be an expanded interpretation of SCP-SL, made in my vision. To make such a project, I had to add multiplayer to the game. When I tried to do this, it broke absolutely everything I've worked up to so far. Upon trying to do more research on the topic, I could barely understand a single line of code. Implementing multiplayer seems to be a very advanced task that, as a beginner, am simply not ready for. I have decided that I am canceling development of my original SCP game and am instead going to be making a single-player SCP game. Once this single-player SCP game's development is finished, I will then reevaluate my readiness for a multiplayer one. Since I'm scoping down to a single-player experience, I think a controlled approach to level design is the best direction for me to go, at least for the campaign. I think the premise of this single-player SCP game is a concept so cool and so interesting that I do not want to reveal what it is yet. I want to wait until it can be presented with a super high quality trailer. If I can get to that point, I promise the hype will be massive. Right now, my primary mission is growing this YouTube channel. If you've gotten to this point in the video, you've likely noticed how well edited and filmed this video is. This is because I hold my content to a very high standard of quality. But right now, I'm running into a problem that I am desperate for help with. To film many of the shots of SCP-SL used in this video, I depended on the filmmaker role, which is only accessible from the admin panel. To get access to this admin panel, I used the host command in the console to create a server that only I can join. I was able to get many good shots using this strategy, but I was also heavily limited. For example, I can spawn a dummy D-class in front of a Tesla gate, but I can't make the dummy run into that Tesla gate. I can show a bunch of MTF in front of Gate B, but I can't show them running too heavy from Gate B or engaging in combat. Everything you see is a still sequence with no exciting action going on. To get good clips of that exciting action, I need access to the admin panel in a server that has a high player population on a consistent basis, which means I need a server that will make me a moderator. So far, I have not found a server willing to give me that. If you are an owner, admin, or moderator of at least a somewhat popular SCP-SL server and are interested in helping me out with my issue, hit me up. I have a YouTube channel of over 1,400 subscribers and make videos that reach thousands more in views. I also have coding experience in the Godot engine. Let me know what you want in return. I have value to offer. Even if you aren't on a staff team, but you still play regularly on an SL server, let the staff of that server know about this video. If I am able to get the help I need with this problem, you can all look forward to some immensely high quality SCP content.